All right, happy Tuesday. Namaste. God bless all of you, man. Happy Tuesday as Facebook tries to reconnect me again. But this is crazy. As I was doing the laundry last night, this story hit me, not literally me, but it hit me emotionally as, wow, that's very inspirational. But inside of it, inside of this story is probably the best example of transformation that's been buried like forever. But first off, the national day, as I get my shit ready here, go guys, it's National Pastry Day for all you sugar freaks out there. Enjoy the day. And it's also National Christmas Card Day. Given the state of the U.S. postal system, I would encourage you early. I would send out your cards early. But a lot of us fail to realize we've been conditioned. I know all the people in my age group have been conditioned that you have to strive and hustle and grind and do all these things in life just to get where you want to go. And that's great. With a goal and a purpose, I mean, that's the thing to do. You know, you want to achieve, you want to accomplish something. But there's a fragile element that takes the brunt of it. Granted, we have control of our mind and we have control of everything involved in our lives, indeed. But only after a certain time, the body can only take so much. It's going to start to break down, man. And a lot of us fail to realize that until, sadly, we get the news on what's going on in our life. For me, I've shown this many times on America's Mentor about, physical transformation mentally. You start mentally transforming yourself. Indeed, your body's going to follow suit. A lot of people have got it backwards. They think they have to physically push at the world to get what they want. And I get it. I mean, I was raised on that. I mean, that was my early motivation in the late 80s and 90s was to push, hustle, grind, don't stop till you drop. If what's involved with it mentally is detrimental, meaning it doesn't feel right. I mean, they were telling us to go after anything we desire, just go and get it, even though it didn't feel right. I mean, I felt all that. I felt everything about that in my life on a physical plane. It's only when I became this authentic self and pursuing what I truly desired and not be afraid of pursuing what I truly desired, then everything came to pass in so many beautiful ways. I'm grateful for the fact that it has transformed my physicality, most importantly as a result, because that was the last thing on my mind. Think about it. It's really the last thing on your mind, your physicality, when you're mentally challenged every day, just getting through the day. You don't realize the ramifications you're putting upon this fragile mechanism that is supporting you every day. Yes, indeed, the mind controls everything, yes. But the thing is, when you keep pushing that narrative, sooner or later it's going to break. And this happened to one gentleman, and this is that story I was talking about. I mean, to me, this was buried as transformative, used more of it like an inspirational kind of thing. And I get that. But when you realize what this man did and the times that he did it compared to now, because now if you're going through issues with the body, they'll just medicate the snot out of you and hoping that it'll go away. Back then, they didn't have that. They had the witch doctors, man, basically back then. And there were only drugs, there were opiates and morphine, for the pain. And that didn't even help. But listen to this story and realize that you can indeed do this for yourself. But this man went through the same thing that a lot of us have gone through. We haven't built the echelon of success that he did and still goes on today with his legacy. But what he did midlife, mind you, not in the beginning, midlife, when everything crumbled and he didn't realize what he was doing. He thought he was doing a good deed. In other words, his body caught up to what he was really feeling and thinking. And this is something for you guys to ponder for yourself, because if you live a purposeful life, indeed, you don't have to really worry about anything, because the fact that all you're emitting is good energy to that fragile mechanism that's responding to that good energy. Listen to this friggin' story. I love this. Imagine working your whole life and hitting 53 and telling you got a year to live. I mean, a lot of you out there can relate with family members and so on and so forth who were given that kind of sad news. But look at this biography. By 25, he was the largest business owner. By 31, he was the largest business supplier. By 38, he controlled 90% of this product in this country. By 50, the first billionaire. And this is back in the early 1900s. So you history buffs are already catching on what I'm getting to. But really understand, I'm going to go on. But at 53, something went wrong. His body broke down. He was crippled with pain. He lost all his hair. He couldn't digest food anymore. Indeed, his whole diet was just basically soup and crackers. He lost half his body weight. Insomnia and unhappiness really enveloped his whole mentality every single day. Imagine having that. I mean, his estimated worth by age in his 50s now was $354 billion. Even now that's astronomical, but you can imagine back in the early 1900s what this man did. And imagine having all the access to everything, every medical, every witch doctor, every psychic, but they still all gave him the news that you're going to die within a year because everything has broken down in your body. His effort in attaining what he truly desired, not realizing the fragile elements involved with it, really broke him down until one night he awoke from a deep sleep. And then he realized, lying awake one night, he realized that he couldn't take anything with him. That was his epiphany. He realized all the control he had, but did not have control of himself. He woke with a new perspective. And this is a beautiful rendition of transformation that you guys can ponder for yourself, because in an instant, in a moment that you make this choice, everything's going to start changing in your way. Believe me when I tell you. He called his lawyers and accountants with new instructions. Restructure every facet of this he owns and put it towards hospitals, charities, research, and improving the American public. And he was one of the funding mechanisms for penicillin, indeed, back then. And you know how old that is. I mean, we're talking early 1900s for that. But he was on the forefront of that. He created a foundation for that, and that man was John D. Rockefeller. At 53 years old, he was given a year to live. That's fine. And now, beyond your belief of this man, I mean, granted, there's a lot of stigma involved in his research and what he has done to us and everything else. But I'm going into the transformative process here, because you were just told by all the best doctors in the world that you've got a year to live. So what do? You realize that you can't take that shit with you. What do? You start giving it away. And I've spoken many stories about this, about deceased notables back in the 1800s, 1900s, on how they changed their lives by not giving their stuff away, but realize they can't take it with them. They realize that all the deceitfulness and everything that coincides with attaining all of this that Rockefeller did. Indeed. I mean, if you read his bio, he was cutthroat in the business world. Could you imagine a mindset living like that every day? Could you imagine a mindset so competitive? There's a lot of you out there that are very competitive. So competitive that it consumes you, that you want to destroy any form of competition, in which what he did, literally, he destroyed everybody. But look at the toll it took on him by the time he turned 50 years old. I mean, a lot of you out there can say, I want money, but I mean, this is not a show about the root of evil here. No, anybody can love money. It's what you do with it that Rockefeller finally realized, his legacy. Now, what happened from there? Okay, got the news. Dude, you're going to croak within a year. What do? You start a foundation. John D. Rockefeller Foundation. Indeed, that funded all this research and medical and like I said, don't get past the stigma. That's other issues. I'm going on what transformed his life. because for the next 44 years, he lived a completely different man. His health changed, his pain subsided, his strength returned, he gained his weight back, and even grew some of his hair. Man, that's kind of the issue there. But his theory was God taught me that everything belongs to him, and I am merely a conduit to carry out his will. My life has been one long happy holiday since then. I think this man just had an epiphany and a quantum leap, all kind of wrapped up into a happy little fuzzball. Think about the feelings that this man happened, and you can compare it to what you're feeling now about yourself on this Transformation Tuesday. Before that diagnosis and prognosis of the so-called ending of it all at 53, he changed his whole perspective. When he realized he had a purpose here to show the world who he was on a grand scale. Okay, fine, you want to give all your stuff away, that's great. But point being is, look at the feelings associated for what he did and how the body responded. That's why it's never too late to turn your life around. It's really never too late. The minute you start emitting a better energy, and you're patient and you're consistent and persistent with that energy, your body's going to start responding to it. I'm living proof of that for myself. Listen, these are the feelings, emotions, and sensations that this man felt every day. I went and I cut apart this bio. And from 0 to 53, you're living in all these fear-based realities that it kept creating of competition and destroy. But after that, his life meant of meaning, purpose, gratitude, giving, love, goals, trust, belief, faith, peace, and most importantly, his authentic self. He finally realized that he can be a better human without taking over the world, man. He can show the world that I amassed all this, but look what I can do. And a lot of us think that's great when you have, $300 billion net worth of today's dollars. I mean, I'm talking about your own self, man. I'm talking about your own being. You put those kind of feelings out there every day. This is true transformation. It's not about doing anything. It's about being something different. Because that being something different is going to create that self on the outside. It's a really simple, they didn't have the medicine back then. That probably would have killed them, honestly, compared to most medicine today. They didn't have the medicine back then. This was all mind-based. He really went deep. He went into the silence. He in the silence meaning he really thought about what he was thinking about. It created a new perspective. For his life to be taken, he says, wait, I'm not going to go down in flames. I'm going to give my stuff away because I can't take it anyway. Okay, fine. You're hitting 60. Wow, we surpassed that death sentence, huh? Now we're hitting 70. Now we're hitting 80. 97 years young, this man passed away after 44 years of living a life of all those meanings, purpose, goals, love, gratitude, giving in his whole being. He completely and utterly changed his life. He lived without regrets. Indeed, we all have a past. We've all hurt people. We've all done things we probably will regret the rest of our life. But Lucille Ball said it out of the quote box tonight. I'd rather regret the things I've done than the things I haven't done. He realized that when he awoke one night from a deep sleep, understanding the fact that he might go. Yes, indeed, he was accepting it. But what he was going to do in the process, even after he went, and is still going on today, his legacy is far more greater than whatever he achieved in the very beginning. Because it's helping people in a lot of ways, but like I said, there's a lot of stigma behind it. I don't believe anything till I do the research, man. But you have to realize for yourself. You have to understand that it's never too late to change. It's never too late to become something great. It really isn't. Because a body only responds to your mind. It really does. And when you keep feeding it those intentions of goals and love and purpose, gratitude and trust, and living without regret, you don't have to deal with the top 5 issues that people have from a hospice nurse that I have in front of me of what people said before they went on to the second realm. Think about this. Number 1, I wish I lived a life true to myself. Ask yourself every day, am I living to my true self? Am I being that best self, because you're going to transform into whatever you think you were being every day. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. To me, you're never working hard if you're following your passion. There's never work involved because it's a natural effect. Number 3, I wish I expressed my feelings more. Expression now on the internet is, you are limitless. And mind you, this is probably an old list, but a powerful one. Your expression of self is shown every day to the world with all your friends, mutual friends, feeds, algorithms. It's out there. So be the best self out there and show the world that true you. Staying in touch. And she was talking about friends and family, but most importantly, stay in touch with yourself. We really forget about who we are. We really do. We push the narrative on give until we're mentally exhausted, which is detrimental to our physicality in the long run. Don't forget about yourself. It's not being selfish. Selfish is telling others how to live your life. You don't have to do that. You just got to be yourself. And the new life is attracted to you. And most importantly, number 5, and I'll let you enjoy your Tuesday. I wish I allowed myself to be happier. That's exactly what Rockefeller did. He wasn't happy necessarily about the giving aspect. He felt a new meaning in life, and it woke him up. And his body responded from that. So a lot of you, and I can attest to this, because the minute I changed my life to, instead of just giving everything away, becoming a purposeful life, giving is natural. It's a natural way of being. And the feelings you get from that, like I do with America's Mentor, you can't explain the blessings that I feel in my life. And that's what I want to share with you guys. You start living that purposeful life, authentic self, you're not denied nothing. Life is going to show you even more of that. Most importantly, your body is going to respond. It's going to respond in the best way. It saved a man's life back then. You can think what you want of Rockefeller and his narratives and his beliefs, but we're all human souls here, man. We're all human souls having this amazing human experience on this physical plane, but on the inside, we're all the same. We're all the same. You find your purpose, you find your passion, you are going to find a better self, because that better self is going to be shown in your physicality of who you are. And when you realize that, you'll realize that life, yes, it's good about attaining and being and having and all these things in life. But when it boils down to, your body is just an echo of your thinking. Your body is an echo of your mindset. Your body is an echo of how you feel about life. So why not give life all those amazing emotions and attributes that you are? You can only better yourself from it, guys. So enjoy your Transformation Tuesday. I hope this helped. Inspiring, yes, indeed. A great story to be inspired by. But inside, success leaves clues. When you read inspirational stories like this, and I know a lot of you do, you get them in your feeds on your social media, look for the message behind it. When I saw that, as I was doing my laundry last night, I said, wait, this wasn't just a story about giving. This was a story about transforming. I mean, who said this? Leanne Taylor. We are all butterflies. Earth is our chrysalis. Remember that. Well, we are cocooned within ourselves, and what we create in there is completely and utterly up to ourselves. Happy Tuesday, America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. Much love, Instagram. Much love, YouTube. # America's Mentor. Please follow and share. I mean, the world can be at a better place if we all share the true, authentic self that we are. Happy Tuesday, guys. I'll see you soon, man.